This is FilmBookCast.
FilmBookCast.
FilmBookCast, the official podcast of FilmBook. Get ready for the latest in film news, TV show news, and theatrical reviews. FilmBook's podcast starts now.
Hello everyone, welcome to FilmBookCast, the official podcast of FilmBook. My name is Chris Banks. If you're tuning in for the first time, what I do on FilmBookCast, I discuss the latest film and TV show news. I also review an in-theater film sometimes. You can find more about FilmBookCast on film-book.com by using the search term FilmBookCast. You can also email us at podcast@film-book.com with FilmBookCast in the subject line. Let's jump right into it this week. This week in film news, Blumhouse is starting to prepare its next horror project with a company in Universal Pictures, announcing their next collaboration titled Night Swim. It'll be released January 19th of next year, and it's set to star Wyatt Russell as well as Kerry Condon. Not too much else is known about the movie as of now, but it's based on the acclaimed 2014 short film by Bryce McGuire and Rod Blackhurst. The plot is hidden on a source of terror in an iconic backyard swimming pool. We'll keep up with news about Night Swim. Some more exciting casting news is director Will Gluck is diving back into the world of romantic comedies. Deadline reported this week that Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell are set to star in an upcoming R-rated romantic comedy from Gluck. Details about the film are currently unknown, as the film title is untitled and its plot is being kept under wrap. It's written by Lana Wolpert, and Will Gluck is going to rewrite it. We'll keep up with news about what this film is going to be titled, but exciting news for any fans of romantic comedies. We're going to wrap up this week in movie news talking about the Batman sequel, as since it's been announced, there's not much that has been leaking out about the process. But Matt Reeves this week, with a conversation with Collider, revealed that the script writing is actually going really well. He said, quote, "We're deep in it, and my partner and I are writing, and it's really exciting. I'm really excited about what we're doing. Count me excited for whatever happens with the Batman 2. But exciting news from Matt Reeves this week. That's it for movie news. This week in TV news, I guess Paramount Plus is coming out with a series called Lioness. It's directed by Taylor Sheridan, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus. But according to Deadline this week, Morgan Freeman has joined the cast as Edwin Mullins. He used to be the United States Secretary of State. Not much else is known about the character besides his role in the government. The official description of Lioness is about a rough-around-the-edges but passionate young Marine recruit who joins the CIA Lioness engagement team to help bring down a terrorist organization from within. We'll keep up with news about Lioness, but exciting news for fans of Morgan Freeman. Some more TV news. Paramount Plus is releasing Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves on March 31st. But that's not the only Dungeons & Dragons adaptation that's in the works. A new report this week says that a live-action series is making its way to Paramount Plus. Apparently, a pilot script has been written and is going to be directed for the first episode. There will be 8 episodes total, and not much else is known other than it's said to be the studio's largest scope TV project ever, which could launch multiple scripted and unscripted shows. We'll keep up with news about Dungeons & Dragons, but exciting news for any fans of the game. Lastly this week, Neil Patrick Harris's new series Uncoupled has been canceled after just one season at Netflix. The streamer canceled Neil Patrick Harris's well-received comedy series after just one season, and fans are upset about all the cliffhangers and storylines left unresolved. Created by Darren Star and Jeffrey Richman, the comedy series was released in 2022, with Harris playing Michael Lawson, a successful real estate agent who thinks his life is perfect after his partner of 17 years abruptly moves out and ends their relationship without warning. The streamer will not continue the story of Michael and his friends in a season 2. Disappointing news for fans of Uncoupled. That's it for TV news from this week. This week in international movie news, Idris Elba shared a new teaser trailer and the release date for a Netflix feature adaptation of his popular detective drama Luther. The film is titled Luther: The Fallen Sun. It'll hit select theaters and on the streamer February 24th. And it'll be on Netflix March 10th. The film is a continuation and a reimagining for the BBC series, which cemented Elba's status as a leading actor. He got 11 Emmy nominations during the show's run. It's about a gruesome serial killer who's terrorizing London, while a brilliant but disgraced detective, John Luther, is behind bars. Exciting news for fans of Luther. Another piece of international entertainment news, Jonas Dassler had been tapped to play a German pastor and theologian turned spy in a thriller God Spy based on a true story. Flula Borg, David Johnson, August Deal, and Clark Peters are all associated with God Spy. The film is currently in production in Berlin, and it's set during the time of the Third Reich, examining Bonhoeffer's determination to live his life with uncompromising political and spiritual courage, while speaking truth to power in his attempt to save countless Jewish lives. The last piece of international entertainment news, a film that debuted at South by Southwest, Raging Grace, a UK-based sales and distribution outfit, Blue Finch Films, has bought the worldwide rights to Raging Grace. The film follows Joy, an undocumented Filipino immigrant who is struggling to do the best she can for her daughter when she secures the perfect job, taking care of an extremely wealthy terminal old man. But something is festering beneath the surface, threatening all she and her family have worked for. Maxine Ageenman stars in Raging Grace. That's it for international entertainment news from this week. This week in home releases is The Menu. Tyler invites Margaret for a fabulous dinner at an extremely exclusive restaurant located on a remote island. They take a yacht to get there and arrive to join other super wealthy elites who are paying $1,250 per plate. It does not take long, however, for Margot to realize that something weird is going on. Not only is the head chef strange and eccentric, but the meals seem planned to inflict psychological torment on all the snobby rich diners. Only Margot is not among the wealthy, but will she get swept up in this bizarre scheme to get revenge on the rich? The Menu is now available on DVD. Till is now available on DVD. Mamie Till Mobley seeks justice for the 1955 killing of her 14-year-old son, Ernest Till. During the civil rights movement, Mamie is an educator and activist. Her true story depicts Ernest's visit to Mississippi to visit his cousins. While there, Ernest, who is still a child, whistled at a white woman. Beaten and killed by white supremacists, his body was drowned in the Tallahassee River. His mother feels the need to do something to shed light on the situation. Through her grief, she educates the world in this emotional drama that is all told through her perspective. Till is now available on DVD. Speak No Evil is now available on DVD. Jorn comes for a summer vacation in Italy with his wife Louise and daughter Agnes. They meet a Dutch couple, Patrick and his wife Karen, and a timid-looking kid named Abel. Patrick is eccentric and introduces himself to all tourists, but only Jorn finds him fascinating. Soon a bond develops, and after the vacation, he gets an invitation to travel to the Netherlands. It comes as a surprise because they are acquaintances and not friends. Though Luce disapproves of the idea, Jorn persuades her, and they travel to Holland. Unfortunately, they end up killed by Patrick. Speak No Evil is now available on DVD. That's it for home releases from this week. This week in movie trailers, coming soon debuted an exclusive trailer of There Is Something Wrong with the Children. It's an upcoming horror film from Blumhouse Television, MGM+. The film will debut January 17th, digitally and on demand. It'll be on MGM+, starting March 17th. When Margaret and Ben take a weekend trip with longtime friends, Ben begins to suspect something supernatural is occurring when the kids behave strangely after disappearing into the woods overnight. Check out the trailer for There's Something Wrong with the Children. You can catch it on video on demand January 17th. Another film trailer that debuted this week comes from Netflix. When's the last time we got a good rom-com? Right? The film title is Your Place or Mine. It stars Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher. They play a pair of opposites coming together. It'll be released on Netflix February 10th, and the cast is stacked. Debbie and Peter are best friends and total opposites. She craves routine with her son in LA, and he thrives on change in New York. When they swap houses and lives for a week, they discover what they think might not be what they really need. They discover what they think they want might not be what they really need. Check out the trailer for Your Place or Mine. It'll debut on Netflix February 10th. The last film trailer we'll talk about this week is the official trailer for The Way Out. It's an intense thriller film by writer and director Barry J. It features Penny Dreadful's Jonathan Beauchamp, and it's set to be released digitally February 10th. Alex is an inspiring singer-songwriter, a drug addict who's been damaged from childhood abuse. After the death of his father and inheriting the family's home, he takes in a roommate, a fighter, who takes Alex under his wing, teaching him how to fight back and stand up to his abusers. But soon this leads Alex down a dark path that threatens his sobriety in his life. Check out the trailer for The Way Out. It'll debut digitally February 10th. That's it for film trailers from this week. This week in TV trailers, Paramount Plus officially released the upcoming Supernatural trailer for Wolfpack. It's a teen drama series that'll be released on January 26th. It's based on the book series by Ido Val Balcom, and it follows a teenage boy and girl whose lives are changed forever when a California wildfire awakens a terrifying supernatural creature and drives it to attack a highway traffic jam beneath the burning hills. Wounded in the chaos, the boy and girl are inexplicably drawn to each other and to one another, and to other teenagers who were adopted 16 years earlier by a park ranger after a mysterious wildfire. As the full moon rises, all 4 teens come together to unravel the secret that connects them, the bite and blood of a werewolf. Check out the trailer for Wolfpack. It'll debut on Paramount Plus January 26th. Another exciting TV trailer comes from Paramount Plus again, and it's Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. It's the upcoming prequel TV adaptation of the classic teen musical film, and it's going to start streaming April 6th. The Rise of the Pink Ladies offers us a preview of the Pink Ladies' origins from being outcast to becoming Rydell High's coolest girl gang. It also highlights the connection between the Pink Ladies and the school's self-proclaimed bad boys, the T-Birds. Check out the trailer for Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. It's written and executive produced by Annabelle Oakes. It's going to start streaming April 6th. The last TV trailer we'll talk about this week comes from Netflix. It's the long-anticipated Season 4 trailer of You, starring Gossip Girl alum Penn Badgley. The first half of the newest season is scheduled to make its debut February 9th. The trailer shows Joe's newest identity as he starts his new life in London as a college professor named Jonathan Moore. Check out the trailer for Season 4 of You. It'll debut on Netflix February 9th. That's it for TV trailers this week. All right. Time for this week's movie review. For this week's movie review, we're checking out Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Directed by Rian Johnson, Benoit Blanc returns to peel back the layers in a new Ron Johnson whodunit. This fresh adventure finds the intrepid detective at a lavish private estate on a Greek island, but how and why he comes to be there is only the first of many puzzles. Blanc soon meets a distinctly desperate group of friends gathering at the invitation of billionaire Mile Braun for the 30-year reunion. As in all the best murder mysteries, each character harbors their own secrets, lies, and motivations. When someone turns up dead, everyone is a suspect. Glass Onion just came out on Netflix, and I was a big fan of the first Knives Out movie. Fans have loved Glass Onion, but I'm not so supportive. I don't really like Glass Onion as much as I see the audience liking Glass Onion, and I guess it is a good movie. It's well produced. It's shot in a beautiful location. The cast is stacked. The cast is more stacked, I think, than the first Knives Out. But there's something about the nature of this sequel that feels contrived to me. You know, it didn't have the same mystery. It didn't have the same feeling as Knives Out. And it could be the Netflix container of it all. It could be the vacuum with which the sequel was made. I could just be too sensitive to the reality TV nature of certain pieces of dialogue that's in the movie. You know, I don't have a big palette for reality TV, and some of the dialogue in the film reminds me that I'm watching Jersey Shore, and I don't like that. You know, I don't, and that's a general criticism I have of a lot of things on Netflix. But the thing that I loved about Knives Out, the first one, was its rich mystery feel. You know, I was watching the first one so intensely that Glass Onion never really made me buy in the same way that Knives Out did. I don't think that that's a criticism of Johnson. I don't think that's a criticism of anybody in the cast. I just think that it's a general criticism of the movie, you know. But Miles Braun is played by Edward Norton, who does a tremendous job in the character. In Dave Bautista plays Duke. Another great performance. Kate Hudson plays Birdie. I haven't seen Kate in a while, but she did well, but I'm not sure they maximized her role in the sequel. Catherine Hahn does a good job as Claire. Leslie Odom Jr. is in there as Lionel. He does a great job. To me, it's just bland. You know, there's tons of bells and whistles. The location is gorgeous. You know, Netflix bought this house, you know, that they're trying to sell now. But that's what I mean about there's something rich in film, and especially the first Knives Out film, right? You have to go and look for locations. You have to find the things in the physical world that fit your story. There's something about Glass Onion that feels entirely the opposite way. And that's my general criticism of everything Netflix produces, because too often I'm watching good things that should be great, but they're just good. And I think it comes from the lack of originality, right? The lack of the love that real studio films have. Netflix is an algorithmic studio. It's a contrived way to have people watch things. They basically automatically make you watch things regardless of whether you want to or not. That goes into brainwashing for me, and that's not something that I would expose myself to all the time, which is why I really only go on Netflix when I have something like Glass Onion to watch. I don't subject my day-to-day life to being forced to watch things that I don't want to, and that's kind of where Netflix drifts into being bad, in my own personal opinion. And Glass Onion, to me, could have been a lot richer in terms of story, in terms of feel from, to the audience. I know it did have a limited release in theaters, but it's not a movie that's made for theaters, and it's very organic how cinema films feel versus Netflix films. It's very different. There's only really a certain amount of Netflix stuff that doesn't have that contrived feel. So I try to work through that, and I don't want that to ruin the whole Glass Onion review, because generally the characters do a great job telling the story. Daniel Craig is incredible as an actor. Incredibly well done is his performance. And honestly, all the cast have well done performances. It's really just the nature in which the sequel is written and created that I just don't really find interesting. The first Knives Out was so interesting and so rich in terms of just the plot twists in the first one don't feel as contrived as they do in the second one. But overall, I would give the film a 7 out of 10 because it's a well done movie. It's beautiful. The cast is stacked. And the script is solid. It's just, there's something about it that never had me buy in like the first one. But that could just be me. Congratulations to everybody associated with it, because it's a knocking success on Netflix. I mean, it's a tremendous success on Netflix. So congratulations to everyone associated with it. I just wish it was more interesting. I wish that it was as good as the first one. It wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't as good as the first one, but I hope you like it. It's on Netflix. Thanks so much for checking us out. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of FilmBookCast. You can find more of my work on film-book.com. Just search for Chris Banks or FilmBookCast. You can also find me on Twitter at @CBanksy, SEE Banksy. I'm also on Instagram at the Chris Banks. If you listen to this podcast on iTunes or another podcast service, please rate and review this episode. If you're listening to this podcast on our YouTube channel, FilmBook Podcast, please like our video, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment in the comments section. It really helps people discover our podcast. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on patreon.com/filmbook. Your support helps us create more engaging content. You'll find our Patreon link below in the description. If you want to tweet about this podcast, just use the hashtag FilmBookCast. Tune in next week for the next episode of the FilmBookCast. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you then.